Hi, this is Nolan Baker here at America's Retirement Headquarters, and I want to take a quick minute and I wanted to just talk to you about what an experience looks like with working with our firm, as well as try to address any concerns or questions that you might have about what the cost is associated with working with our firm. So at America's Retirement Headquarters, one of the things that I do is I act as the Chief Financial Officer. And so one of my goals is to help kind of bring it all together and look at the big picture on all the different areas on how we can help you better manage your money, protect your assets, and efficiently plan your estate. When you come into the office and we spend some time getting to know each other and have a visit, one of the things that we'll do is we'll take a look at going through our client introduction kit. Inside of the client introduction kit, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the steps to make sure that we try to determine the areas that we can add the most amount of value to what you're doing, as well as look for any potential blind spots or traps that maybe you aren't aware of that we can help prevent and make sure they don't catch you off guard. During that first meeting, we'll spend roughly about an hour together learning about the things that are important to you. We're going to talk to you about, any questions or concerns that you might have about your finances or investments. We'll talk about things like taxes or questions or concerns that you might have there. Coverages on your insurances from home and auto to health and long-term care, all the way down to dealing with your estate planning and seeing, what type of areas need to be addressed. From there, what that will do is that will allow me to begin the process of going through what is called your personal CFO checklist. Within the checklist, what we can do is we can break each of the items down further regarding each of those topics on the management of your money, over here on the protection of your assets, to efficiently planning your estate. Those items are things like creating a financial inventory, looking at your cash flow, debt management, looking at other areas on how we can make sure that you have the right coverage in the event that you have some type of healthcare crisis, figuring out if and what type of documents you need to have in place, and who are the professionals that we need to get involved in the overall planning process for you. There is no cost or obligation to get together with us. There's no cost or obligation for us to provide you a written summary of recommendations as well. Once we've gathered all of this information, what we're going to then do is we are going to provide you a written summary of recommendations. The written summary of recommendations will be broken down into an action plan for you. Within the action plan, what we're going to do is we're going to outline the very specific recommendations on the ways that we can add value, and also any maybe potential traps or mistakes that we see that you could be making so you could try to eliminate them. Within each of those recommendations, we would also then detail any type of cost that's associated with implementing any of those ideas. It's been our experience that when clients look at those recommendations, you might like all of them. If you do, we would begin then to prioritize and implement those based upon what's most important to you. You also could look at those recommendations and you could decide to do some of them, and some of them you could decide not to do. That's perfectly fine as well. And quite frankly, you could look at all of our recommendations and decide not to do anything. If that's the case, we would simply close your file and you owe us nothing. You've invested your time and we've invested ours, but at this point, you would then have a written summary so you'd know exactly what the recommendations are and what are the costs associated with working with our firm. Some of the things that we do, we would charge a flat fee for services. Other things that are involved, such as investment of the portfolio, some of the things that we work with there are typically what's called no-load investments, and those type of investments have some type of management fee. But again, we would be more than happy to discuss any type of cost, provide that information to you, allow you time to look at those recommendations so you can make a good, educated decision about which of any of those things you would like to implement with our firm. After that, then we have a complete onboarding process that we do in an approach that's called Get Connected. Within the Get Connected process, we are going to walk you through your independent income system to make sure that you understand the purpose for each of your financial accounts, what they're designed to do, what the asset protection plan is, how your investment policy statement is lined out, and what the expectations should be of the results over the next 6 months, depending upon whether the market is good, average, or bad. That way you can clearly see how this all fits together for your individual situation. We also have a variety of different tools and resources available for you as well. So things like your personal CF brochure that explain the process of working with our firm. We also publish our own magazine called Your Retirement Magazine. So the first step is kind of easy. It's just for us to have a conversation, set up a time to get together and see what areas we can help and where we can add value into what you're doing. I'd love the opportunity to get together with you here at America's Retirement Headquarters. If you'd like to schedule a time to have a visit, all you need to do is just reach out to the office at 419-842-0550. We'd be more than happy to get together with you. Pick a time where we can sit down and figure out what's important to you and see if there's areas that we can help continue to improve your planning process. Again, thanks for tuning in. I'm Nolan Baker here at America's Retirement Headquarters.